it's Kino here. Today we're going to take a look at Kurmasana and Supta Kurmasana, the tortoise posture from the Ashtanga Yoga primary series. Now this is a question that a lot of students ask. How do you get into this posture? It's one of these things that kind of looks like a circus trick. I consider Supta Kurmasana kind of the grand crescendo of the primary series. So it's something that all of the postures that preceded the Ashtanga Yoga method really build up to this pivotal moment. It's something that represents an obstacle. So I don't recommend anyone just tries it and moves on. Instead, really do the work, investigate it, watch videos on YouTube and see if you can figure out what the technique is. Now we're going to take a look at what that technique is all about. Starting off in a basic seated position, the first thing to understand is what happens with the hips. I'm just going to turn away from you so you can kind of understand what's going on with the back of the body, okay? So when you fold forward, the knees can be bent to start off, and you want to keep your body moving forward. The only thing that happens is oftentimes we jump from downward dog into this position so the butt is not off of the ground. So let's actually take a look at what would happen is if we jumped from downward facing dog, okay? Now, the easy version of preparing for Supta Kurmasana, you're going to jump your feet to the outsides of your hands and you're settling down. The key with this movement here is to not try to sit directly down, but from here to move your thigh on top of your shoulder, keep your hand to the outside, and notice the fingers pointing directionally outward. Then, the other side, aim your shoulder on top of your thigh, and then move your hand out to the side. This might be a strange position if you're going to try to sit down in, but that's exactly what you need to do to enter Supta Kurmasana. Slowly bend your knees as you squeeze your thighs onto your shoulders, stabilize with your hands, press the hands into the ground a little bit, and then sink the hips slowly down. Now from here, it's tempting to let the knees flop out to the side, but that defeats the whole purpose of what we just did. Keep the knees squeezed onto the shoulders, slowly moving the hips a little bit back. Let yourself kind of wiggle side to side so that you can gently move your way all the way down towards the ground. A lot of students will get to about here and then they're completely stuck, so this is the way to work. Top of the head on the ground, squeeze the knees onto the shoulders, press the shoulders back, hold it there for a moment, then slowly flatten the chest to the ground and aim the chin down. Don't let your legs go out to the side again, squeeze the inner thighs. And if you need to, pop yourself back up, wiggle, 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 get close into the center, squeeze the thighs in, slowly straighten. Now from down to work on Kurmasana position, squeeze the thighs in, press the shoulders, squeeze it in, lift the heels. After you lift the heels, squeeze it in so much so the butt comes off the ground. Hold it for a moment, exhale down. Next, Supta Kurmasana. Top of the head on the ground. Roll your hip into external rotation. Now, the knees go to the side, the the feet near your head. Roll the shoulder forward and around, the shoulder forward and around, and easy. Take your hands. Just relax here. This is probably enough work for one day. Grip your fingers nice and tight, slowly release. Now, to come out, gently move your head forward. Pause for a moment. This is the place where a lot of students will feel like they're completely stuck, like they feel like they can't lift up off of the ground. The key into lifting up off of the ground is to squeeze your knees onto the shoulders as you press the shoulders back. Then pinch the shoulders directionally forward as you squeeze. You don't need to straighten the legs, but you could, but you don't need to. Then shoulders move forward and bend your knees back. Exhale, Chaturanga. All right? So, the place that we went to today was probably the most important part of Supta Kurmasana, which is getting your hands. I would really focus on getting your hands bound, because I believe that everyone can do that with a little bit of emphasis. Figure out what's going on in your lower back, because your lower back has to elongate while being round. If you try to be too much upright in the posture, you will find that release and elongation through all of the muscles of your back. Remember, the whole posture has got to be supported by your pelvic floor. So if you feel your belly cooching out, squeeze it in. Make space around the hip joints, and you'll find your way into Supta Kurmasana.